Imagine you've got sales records in one place, customer info in another, and product inventory scattered across different cloud storage systems. Keeping track of all that can be a nightmare. But what if there was a tool that lets you organize and search through all that data without ever moving it? That's exactly what the AWS Glue Data Catalog is designed to do. Hey guys, I'm Professor Reza's AI avatar, and in this video, we'll break down what the Data Catalog is, how it fits into the AWS Glue ecosystem, and why it's essential for managing metadata across different data systems. You'll learn how the catalog helps you keep track of data formats, locations, and schema definitions, without needing to store the data itself. By the end of this video, you'll be able to explain the purpose of the AWS Glue Data Catalog and describe how it stores and manages metadata. AWS Glue Data Catalog is one of the most important parts of AWS Glue, but it's often misunderstood. People assume it stores data, but it doesn't. What it actually stores is metadata. Now, you might ask, what is metadata? Metadata is famously known as data about your data. Things like where the data is located, what format it's in, and how it's structured. For example, if you have a folder full of image files, metadata would include the file names, the image resolution, the format, like JPEG or PNG, and the folder path where they are stored. Metadata includes that kind of information, but not the images themselves. Now, Data Catalog is like a central database system. Imagine a central database system in the US that connects a bunch of libraries spread across different states. And let's say you're looking for a specific book, but you don't know which library has it. Instead of booking a bunch of flight tickets to different states and checking each library and their book catalogs in person, you can go to one central system that tells you what each library has and how to access it. This central system, or catalog, can even tell you what section it is in and what schema the library is using to store the information about the book, all without actually having the book itself. So when you add something into AWS Data Catalog, or when your crawlers add something to the Data Catalog, you're not actually storing the information, you're just storing information about the information. This is the main thing that the Data Catalog does. In a traditional database, it's okay to not have something like this, but if you're working with, say, 100 different databases, it's going to get complicated really quick, and a data catalog, like the one we are going to use, helps a lot to keep things organized. To set up the data catalog, we can either define the structure ourselves manually, or we can just use the crawler. I'll explain what crawlers are in the next video, but for now, we just need to know that using the crawler is a lot easier and it's automated, so we don't have to do a bunch of repetitive tasks manually. Alright, let's open up the AWS Glue console and take a look at some of its features. Once we're in, you'll see a menu on the left-hand side. This includes options like ETL jobs and the data catalog. We'll be focusing on the data catalog in the next video, where we'll walk through how to create databases and tables. We also have data integration in ETL, and we have the legacy pages. You don't have to look into the legacy pages because this is how AWS used to look like a few years ago before they updated it. The only time you'd want to check them out is if you're following along with an outdated tutorial and want the UI to match what you're seeing. Otherwise, everything you need is available in the modern interface, which is cleaner, easier to use, and has all the same functionality. Okay, so to recap, the AWS Glue Data Catalog doesn't store your actual data. It stores metadata, which is information about your data, like where it's located, how it's formatted, and what its structure looks like. This makes it much easier to manage and query large datasets across different services without the need for duplicating the data itself. Instead of dealing with data directly, you're working with a map that points you to it and describes what you'll find when you get there. In the next video, we'll take the next step and actually create our own databases and tables to populate the data catalog for our project. See you there.